Chapter 1. The Man Who Desired Gold. Bansir was a chariot builder of Babylon. One day, his fat, muscular body sat stolidly upon the wall, gazing sadly at his simple house and his open workshop, in which stood a partially completed chariot. His wife frequently appeared at the open door, with glances that suggested that the meal bag was almost empty, and that he should be at work finishing the chariot. His slow mind was struggling with a problem that had no answer. Engraved in his own problems, he cared not to notice the confusing hubbub of the busy city. Noisy chariots of the rich paving way for the long lines of slave water carriers, moving aside tradesmen as well as barefooted beggars. Suddenly, a familiar lyre aroused him from his pondering. It was his best friend Kobbi, the musician, holding a sensitive, smiling face, blessing Bansir with great liberality, stating that it appears that the gods have already blessed him with much generosity that he needed not to labor, asking to borrow 2 shekels until the nobleman's feast this night. Bansir, the chariot builder, replied, "If I did have 2 shekels, to no one would I lend them to, including my best of friends, for they would be my entire fortune." Kobbi exclaimed, "What? Thou hast not 1 shekel, yet sit like a statue upon thy wall? Why not complete that chariot? Where is thy endless energy? Have the gods brought to thee troubles?" Bansir replied, "A torment from the gods it must be. It started with a dream in which I was a man of means. From my belt hung a handsome purse heavy with coins, shekels of which I could cast carelessly to the beggars, pieces of silver in which I did fine finery for my wife and whatever I did desire, gold pieces of which made me feel assured of the future. But as soon as I arose, I remember how empty was my purse. A feeling of rebellion swept over me. To know the joys that come from wealth, we must dream about them. Consider our sons," Bansir continued. "Are they not following in the footsteps of their father?" Kobbi, the lyre player, was puzzled. That never in all their years of friendship did Bansir, the chariot builder, think like this before, stating that we are both as poor as the king's slaves. Suddenly, a bell rang. "Look, here they come." Half-naked men sweating water carriers, marching together from the river, back and forth, day after day, year after year. "Pity them I do," said Kobbi. "Yet thou dost make me see how little better off we are. Free men though we call ourselves. Working and working and working, getting nowhere," said Kobbi. "Perhaps there is some secrets we might learn if we but sought from those who knew," replied Bansir. "This very day," suggested Kobbi, "I did pass by our old friend Arcad. Yeah, he is claimed to be the richest man in all of Babylon. So rich that the king is said to seek his golden aid in affairs of the treasury. A man's wealth is not in the purse he carries. A fat purse quickly empties, if there be no golden stream to refill it. Arcad has an income that constantly keeps his purse full no matter how liberally he spends it. I do wish of an income that will keep flowing into my purse, whether I sit upon the wall or travel to foreign lands. Arcad must know how a man can make income for himself. Methinks he did teach his knowledge to his son. Did he not go to Nineveh, and so it is told, become without aid from his father, one of the richest men in the city? It costs nothing to ask advice from wise men, and from a good friend Arcad was always that. Never mind though our purses be as empty as the falcon's nest a year ago. Let them not detain us," said Bansir. "Now makest me realize why we have never found any measure of wealth," said Kobbi. "We have never sought it. Let us go to Arcad this very day. Also, let us ask other friends of our boyhood days, who have fared no better than ourselves, to join us, that they may share in his wisdom. Not wert ever thou thoughtful of thy friends? Therefore thou hast many friends. It shall be as thou sayest. We shall go this day and take them with us." To sum it all up, Bansir, the man, he worked hard, year after year, working and working, consequently living almost like a slave water carrier. His fallacy was that he never questioned the situation, until this very day, in which he concluded that in order to attain wealth, he must seek advice from those who had made wealth, a mentor, And his good friend Arcado was the right man to go to. To conclude, one needs to start questioning oneself. How can you make things differently? Is the way you're making money the only way? And that'll do it, guys. Don't forget to subscribe, and we got more videos coming your way. Like, comment, and let me know what works. Let me know what doesn't, and we shall take it from here. From here we shall depart.